Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL video. Tonight. I am doing my round 14 NRL tips for 2024. Last week was the first Origin affected round of 2024. Can't say the same how it went, unfortunately. For the first time ever since I started this channel, unfortunately, I got no games correct. Yeah, shocking. There were 4 upsets this round. Couldn't believe it. Not a single game correct. Penrith, under strength, lost. Knights were destroyed. Lost. Who was the first game? Crap. Oh, I lost the first game anyway. Dolphins lost by 1 point in Golden Point. Then Roosters lost by 2. Lost by 2 against the Cowboys to win 18-6 to lose 18-16. Why? I get it, it's Origin affected as well, but fuck's sake, bro. But it is what it is. I'm still above 50% somehow. 46 out of 101 games. Not the best, but hopefully we can get better results this week. Anyways, this week as well, I'm in my State of Origin shirt. Obviously, Game 1 is only 2 days away until we kick off State of Origin Game 1 at a course stadium. Of course, the Blues taking on the Maroons. I will be doing a separate video for that, so I hope you guys can go check it out once it is uploaded sometime tonight or tomorrow morning. Anyways, let's get into round 14 NRL tips. Now let's hope we do better this round. Now we kick off with the only Friday game this week. We've only got 7 games this time. So first one only on Friday, kicking off at 8 p.m. at WIN Stadium in Wollongong. We have the 12th place George Illawarra Dragons taking on the 16th place West Tigers. The Dragons coming off an upset win over the understrength Panthers side from last week, winning 22-10. Penrith led 10-0. Then something in Shane Flanagan must have heard him in their ear, and they went on to score 22 unanswered points. So good on the Dragons. I know I got a bit carried on about, obviously, Dragons deserved the win, but that's how it was with the game. The game was shit anyway, but good on the Dragons for winning without Zach Lomax and Ben Hunt, arguably their 2 best players in 2024. And as for the Tigers, they coming off their second bye of the year. Last time out, they were up in Townsville back in round 12. They lost 42-28, and now they're on an 8-game losing streak. They are currently have the longest losing streak in 2024 so far. They have not won since against the Eels back in round 4, on Easter Monday from that 1 point win over the Eels. But I mean, Tigers did show up in that game against the Cowboys. A bit too late though, obviously, but anything is possible, and they are due for a win, but we'll have to wait and see how they go this week against the Dragons. Now, on Sportsbet at the moment, the Dragons are the favourites at $1.39 and the West Tigers at $3.01. In the past 10 games between these two, it has been 5 games apiece. However, the Dragons have won 4 of the last 5 games, and also has been 2 in the past 4 games at WIN Stadium between these two, has been 2 games apiece, with the Dragons winning the last 2. So the Tigers have not won at WIN Stadium since 2021, where they won 16 points to 8. Yeah, and as for Origin stars, I believe the Tigers don't have any, but for Dragons, for Zach Lomax and Ben Hunt, I believe they will be backing up this way. It is a short turnaround. It is only about an hour and a half drive from Sydney anyway to Wollongong, so I think they may back up this week. If not, they'll be rested. Regardless, though, for this result, this game could go either way. Tigers are due for a win, but I will back the home side. Dragons do tend to do a lot more better at Wynn Stadium compared to Cogra, which obviously based on the last few years is true, and from experience down there this year when I went there for round 4 against Dragons Manly. But I will take the Dragons here to go 1-12. Dragons to win by 8. Scoreline will go 20-14. Try scorers for both. We will go Tyrell Sloan and Jerome Buller. So both fullbacks to score a try for the first game to open up round 14. Dragons by 8. Alrighty, we move on to Super Saturday now. The first of 3 kicking off at 3 p.m. on the Gold Coast at Seabus Super Stadium. We have a potential spoon bowl game. We have a bottom 4 clash between the 15th place, or the 14th place rather, Gold Coast Titans against my boys and the current Wooden Spooners, 17th place South Sydney Rabbitohs. So both teams are coming off byes from last week. The week before, the Titans upset Brisbane up at Suncorp, coming back to win 36-34. Good on them. Wasn't despite having a lot of players out, they showed some heart, and yeah, they got the win. They got their 3rd win of the season now, which that was unbelievable. I mean, obviously no defence in that game, but good on them. And as for my boys, we finally snapped our 6-game losing streak against the Eels in Indigenous round, winning 42-26. I'm glad I was there. Great game. We finally won. At least we're back in the winner's circle. Obviously, we're still in last regardless, but win's a win. I'll take it. It's been a long, dreadful season for the Rabbits and for myself, obviously, but it is what it is. So we got another bottom 4 clash against the Titans this time in round 14 as well. Now, obviously, the big thing going into this that we have a very good we have a good record at Seabus. We've only lost 1 game at Seabus Super Stadium, funny enough. And that was back all the way in 2009, where we lost 22-14. Since 2012, we've won 9 in a row at Seabus. So, Titans have not won since 2009 at Seabus Super Stadium against us. However, the last time the Titans beat us was in 2016, where they beat us 29-28, and that was at Nim Stadium, or known as HBF Park in Perth. So 8 years ago was the last time the Titans have won. Which comes to this: in the past 10 games between the two, we have won 9 of our last 10, which includes winning the last 8 in a row. The Titans are due for a win against us, and oh boy, I just enjoy it. I mean, they led against us at halftime last year, 22-16, and then they obviously choked. We went on to win 46-28. I mean, there's been a lot of high-scoring games in the last few games between these two. I mean, in the last 3 or 4 games, the margin's been decided by at least more than 16 points. Have been decided by 16 points or more. So we've won 40 points to 30. 36 points to 6, 30-14, and then the last game between us two, 46-28. And they've all been at Seabus as well, funny enough, last 4 games. It's shocking, but probably expect to be a high-scoring game for this one, that's for sure. At the moment as well, Titans are just the favourites at $1.82, and the Rabbitohs are at $2.02. Obviously, I'm backing my boys to win this one. I reckon we can go 2 in a row. This game could go either way. Titans are due for a win against us. They haven't won since 2016 against us. But obviously, I'll be backing my boys, no doubt. This will be a high-scoring game. No defence in this one. I'll go us to win by 10. We will go 36-26 scoreline. Try scorers for both. For Titans, we'll go both Fermor to score. And as for my boys, we'll go AJ. I reckon he will break their record, and he will be the second top try scorer of all time coming. He only needs one more try to be the second top. He's already tied second with Billy Slade on 190, and he needs one more to be the second, just the second of all time as well. He will go Jai Arrow to score. Why I say Jai Arrow, funny enough, it's his 150th game in the NRL, and it's against his former club, the Gold Coast Titans. I think he was at the Titans the last time before he came to the Rabbitohs, I'm pretty sure. But funny coincidence that it's 150th against his former club, but obviously up the boys to win on Saturday. And also, I will not be going to the C-Bus. Unfortunately, can't make it for this one, but I will be live streaming for that, so I hope you guys can stay tuned for that. Alrighty, now we move on to our second of 3 games on Super Saturday. Next one kicking off at 5:30 p.m. We go to the top of Australia, to Townsville once again. We have the North Queensland Cowboys, who are in 10th place, taking on the 13th place New Zealand Warriors, kicking off at 5:30 p.m. at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Last week, Cowboys pulled off an upset once again against the Roosters, this time winning 18-16 against the Roosters. Roosters did lead 10-0 as well, and somehow Roosters lost. I mean, I enjoy Roosters lots as much as any South fan, but geez, they should have put them in. They should have finished them off, but what the hell. And as for the Warriors, coming off their second bye as well of the season, the week before they managed to come back and win against the Dolphins, winning 24-20 at Mount Smart Stadium 2 weeks ago. But good on them for winning 2 in a row with a lot of players out as well. I mean, geez, after they've lost 4 in a row beforehand, but they've beaten the Panthers. Now they've beaten the Dolphins with so many players out. This will be a great, enjoyable game to watch, no doubt. At the moment, the Cowboys are favourites at $1.50 and the Warriors are at $2.58. In the past 10 games between these two, surprisingly, the Warriors have won 7 of the last 10, which includes winning 3 of the last 4 games. There have been 3 games between these two played at Queensland Country Bank Stadium since 2021, with the Cowboys winning the first 2, 29-28, and the other game demolishing the Warriors 48-4 in 2022. And then their most recent game at this venue, which was in the early rounds of 2023, where they beat the Cowboys 26-12, the Warriors. In the last game these two played as well, the Warriors went on to win 22-14 against the Cowboys, which was the second game between the two last year. This game's going to be quite tough. Cowboys are coming off 3 in a row wins. Warriors are coming off back-to-back wins. This game is too tough to pick. I would go Cowboys, go for the home side, or I could back the Warriors. They're doing well so far, and they're expecting players back as well. And Cowboys are expecting all of their players from Origin to back up as well, hopefully. Oh, this one's going to be tough. I think the toughest game to pick for this round, alongside the Monday clash as well. But I'm going to go the risk here, honestly. As much as the Cowboys have been doing well, and I have not tipped them I don't think I have tipped them at all in the last 3 weeks, funny enough. I'm going to go back to the Warriors for this one. After that performance against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago, I reckon they can pull it off again. I will go to Warriors to win this one in a close contest. We'll go to Warriors to win by 4. Scoreline will go 24-20. Try scorers for both teams. We will go Cowboys. We'll go Scott Drinkwater. And as for the Warriors, we'll go DWZ to score. To go over for the Warriors. So Warriors to win by 4, and this will be honestly the game of the round as well. Alright, up the wires, the win by 4. Alrighty, now we move on to the final game of Super Saturday, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. Once again in Queensland at Suncorp Stadium. So all Queensland teams, minus the Dolphins, because they've got the bye this week. All the other three Queensland teams have got home games all on a Saturday, all in Queensland. So good on them. We'll go back to Suncorp and kick off at 7:35 p.m. We have another top 8 clash. This time between the 5th place Brisbane Broncos taking place on the 2nd place Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. The Sharks last week, they've lost 2 in a row now. At least they scored last week, because the week before they were destroyed against Penrith, 42-0. At least this time, they lost to the Eels, losing 34-22. That was the other game I forgot to mention, that I did not get a single game correct this round. Last week, rather, sorry. Sharks lost 34-22 against Para. Good on Para, but it wasn't a good game to watch. Sharks are in all they are in all sort of moments, all sort of problems at the moment. As for the Broncos, they had their first bye of 2024. The week before, coming off a win. Last time out, the Broncos shockingly upset it against their southeastern neighbours, the Gold Coast Titans, losing 36-34 in a great thriller game. Unfortunately, they lost, but I hope they can lift their heads up and hopefully do a lot more better this time. They're playing against the Sharks, who have conceded, they've conceded a total 76 points in the last 2 games, and they've only scored 22 points. That's coming from a team who's led first place for at least half the season, to win at least 6 in a row, and somehow they lost against Penrith, and they got destroyed, and they lost against Para. I mean, obviously they had no McInnes and no Nico Hines, which he is injured now, unfortunately. I mean, sorry, he's not injured. Sorry, thinking of a different player. But obviously Origin doesn't really matter. No excuses, but this should hopefully be a good game, hopefully. The Broncos are at $1.50 favourites, while the Sharks are outsiders at $2.62. In the past 10 games between these two, Broncos have won 9 of the past 11 games, which includes winning 3 of the last 5. And in the last 7 games between these two at Suncorp, Broncos have won 5 of the 7 games. Sharks' last win against the Broncos at Suncorp was back in 2021, where the Sharks won 24-16, and then the year before, where they beat the Broncos, which was their wooden spoon year, they won 36-22, which that was also at Suncorp. So this should be another interesting game to see how it goes, but based on how last few weeks the Sharks have been, I'm not backing them this time, and how their record is at Suncorp in general. I will back the Broncos for this one. I think they will bounce back in front of their home faithful, and I think all 7 players should be back. I think it's 17 or 6 or 7 players for State of Origin should back up, and Sharks, I think Hines and McInnes will back up this week as well for them. So we'll go Broncos to win this one by 1-12. Broncos by 10. Scoreline will go 24-14. Try scorers for both William Kennedy, and for the Broncos we'll go Katoni. Oh no, not Katoni. We'll go Cobbo. No. We'll go Corey Oates. No, Dean Mariner. Dean Mariner. There you go. Dean Mariner to score a try. So Broncos to win by 10. Now we move on to our first of 2 Sunday games. The first one kicking off at 2 p.m. down in Melbourne at Amy Park. We have the first place Melbourne Storm. So Melbourne have taken over the Sharks for first place now. Taking on the 11th place Newcastle Knights, taking place at Amy Park and kicking off at 2 p.m. Now, obviously, Knights had their 4-game winning streak snapped against the Dogs last week. They were destroyed at McDonald Jones, 32 points to 2, and yet they led 2-0 at half. 2-0 to start off with, and they didn't score a single try after that. How fucking pathetic that was for the Knights, and in front of your home fans as well. That's not right. And it's not the first time to score 2 points at McDonald Jones as well. Funny enough. As for the Storm, they're coming off their second bye of the year as well. Oh, I forgot to mention as well. It's the Warriors' first bye, not the second. My apologies. This will be Melbourne's second bye of the year as well. Last time out, the Melbourne shockingly lost to Manly in their usual battle of rookie rivalry game. Melbourne lost 26-20. They had their chance in the last 2 minutes, but Manly defence was too strong, and they lost. So that's first time that Manly have beaten Melbourne 3 in a row at Brookie. Good on Manly. That was a good game though, regardless, but don't see Melbourne lose that often, especially against their rivals. But there you go. At the moment, the Storm are favourites at $1.21, and the Knights are at $4.45. In the past 10 games between these two, Melbourne have won 8 of the... Hang on, no. They have won 11 of the last 14 games, which includes winning 9 in a row. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 9 in a row. However, Melbourne have lost the last 2 games against the Knights. First up, last year, they were defeated 26-18 at McDonald Jones Stadium, and that was an upset. And then back in round 2, I think it was, Melbourne lost 14-12, and I think that game was without Munster and Hughes for that one. And that was also McDonald Jones as well. So Melbourne have lost the last 2, but I think there's going to be a different outcome for this one this time. I mean, yeah, there's still no Cameron Munster. Still, I think Melbourne will put in their duties and finish off the Knights. Yeah, for this game, I think it'll be fairly obvious. Although the Knights, they've come off with 4 games in a row with no Ponga. That performance last week against the Dogs was just disgusting and disgraceful and disappointing as well. Melbourne 13 plus for this one. Melbourne to win by 16. Scoreline go 30 points to 14. Try scorers for both David Armstrong, and for the Storm, we will go Nick Meaney to score. So Melbourne to win 13 plus. Now, moving on to our final Sunday fixture, kicking off at 4 p.m. in Penrith at Bluebet Stadium. We have the third place Penrith Panthers taking on the 7th place Manly Warringah Sea Eagles at 4:05 p.m. Now, Manly are coming off their second bye as well for the year. Their first bye of the year. Sorry, my apologies. First bye, not first bye. Manly last time when they played, they beat their rivals, the Storm, 26-20 at Brookie. That was a great win. No turbo, no problem. They beat Melbourne 26-20. Granted, there was no Munster in that game as he was injured during Magic Round, but obviously doesn't matter. They went on the win. Good on them. And as for Penrith, led 10-0 against Dragons. They were very under strength, and they didn't score a single point in the second half. 22-10 they lost. Disgusting. But Origin players across both teams should be backing up for this game when game 1 is over. The Panthers are at $1.35 favourites, Manly at a nice $3.21. In the past 10 games between the two, Penrith have won 8 of the last 10, which includes winning 8 in a row. However, as I just pointed out, the last time these two play, one of the upsets of the year, Manly won 32-18 against Penrith, and now at Brookie. What a solid game that was for Manly. Obviously, it wasn't the best game to watch, but still a great win. One of the upsets of the year thus far. But that was a good win for him last time out. But unfortunately, I can't say the same for this one. as it is at Bluebet, I don't think Penrith will lose 2 in a row, honestly. But this will be another good game as well, and Origin players should back up for this. So we'll go Panthers to win this one by 1-12. Panthers to win by 8. Scoreline will go 28-20. Try scorers for both. Unfortunately, Dylan Edwards has picked up an injury. I don't think he will play this week, so we'll go Brian Top. Yeah, we'll go Isaac Tago to score. And for the Sea Eagles, we'll go Ben Travojevic to score for the Sea Eagles. So this should be another cracking contest. Penrith to win by 8. Now we move on to our final game of round 14. It is the King's birthday public holiday for this one. We have the usual King's birthday game. We have the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, who are in 9th place, taking on the 15th place Parramatta Eels. We have an intense, arguably the second biggest rivalry in Sydney. These two clubs hate each other so much. Back all the way to the 80s, where the Dogs and Eels, I think they won about 4 grand finals each during that decade. I know Eels won 4, I'm not sure how much. Not sure how many grand finals the Dogs won in the 80s, but I think it's 4 or 3. It's one of them two. Now, obviously, these two will clash for the annual King's birthday game, which it used to be the Dragons and Bulldogs, but since 2022, it has been the Bulldogs and Eels. This will be the 3rd game between the two for the King's public holiday, and it has been 1 game each so far. First game when it happened in 2022, Bulldogs killed the Eels 34-4, and then in last year's game, Parramatta killed them 34 points to 12. So obviously these two hate each other's guts so much, and we'll dive into this fixture right now. Now, Dogs do have a good record for the Kings fixture as well, even when they played against Dragons. I think they have won 6 or 7 games now, and have lost only 3, I think. Something like that. But so not a bad stat for the Dogs there. So last week Eels, well, I guess you can say was an upset, but Eels finally snapped their 5-game losing streak, beating the first place Cronulla Sharks 34-22 with the return of Clint Gufferson and Mitchell Moses. That was a good game good win for them as well after they lost to my boys, obviously, the week before. 42-26 wasn't the best game, obviously, to watch, but win's a win, and good on them for winning. As for the Dogs, they killed the Knights once again. They won 32 points to 2 at McDonald Jones Stadium on the weekend. Dominating display. Unfortunately, though, Josh Adokar has picked up a hamstring injury, which is really unfortunate. There's been a lot of hammies throughout the season, and he's going to be out for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. Unfortunate, but they've still got a lot of star players that can fit in the back line there. Yes, so this will be another intense game to watch, and I could stream this one if I get the chance, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, at the moment, Eels are shockingly the favourites at $1.73, and the Dogs are at $2.12. So put money on the Dogs. Easy money there. In the past 10 games between the two, Para have won this fixture a lot. They have won 10 of the last 13 games between the two, which includes winning 7 of the last 8 games. The last time the Dogs beat the Eels was on the King's birthday back in 2022 from the aforementioned score, 34 points to 4. And the last time before that, Dogs beat the Eels 12-6 back in 2019 when it was at Bankwest, or now it's known as CommBank Stadium, or Western Sydney Stadium. That's its by its actual name. But who do I see winning this one? This one is going to be tough. I mean, with Moses and Gufferson, they are amazing, the Eels. But Bulldogs have shown a lot of better defence and attack. Obviously, defence has to be a bit more better, but attack-wise, great, and defense for last week was excellent as well for the Dogs. And they're also undefeated at home as well. I forgot to point out. But for this one, I'm going to back the Dogs for this one. As much as I want to go para, unfortunately, I will have to back the Dogs for this one. I will go the Dogs to win by 2 points. I reckon it's going to be a 2-point field goal. We'll go 26-24 scoreline. And that goal kick, or a 2-pointer, I think Matt Burton will not be playing this week. So if he doesn't play for Origin, then I think he will go for the kick and get it. If he doesn't, then I reckon Toby Sexton will get the 2-pointer. Only Burton doesn't back up, but the other players should back up for Origin this week as well. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, the buys for round 14, we have only 3 teams this time. Dolphins with their second bye, Roosters first bye, and the Raiders second bye as well. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude my round 14 tips of 2024. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are on the road to 1,600 subscribers. We are almost at 1,550. Thank you all so much for that. Appreciate all your support, whether you've been since the beginning, in the middle, or whenever. But anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, I will be doing a prediction for the State of Origin. They'll be coming out this same night as well. So I'll be posting both the tipping video and the prediction for the State of Origin with a couple hours apart. But anyways, I'm getting out of here. Good luck to the Blues this week as well, and I guess the Maroons as well. I will be streaming for Game 1 as well, so yeah, that's going to be a massive stream. Alright, anyways guys, I'm out of here, and to all the Gold Coast supporters out there, bring it on, you Gold Coast chokes. See you in the next one.